All right, this the middle class article, volume 2 again. That she spent on neck tattoos. If yes, then BBC has been. She said you only see low class more on how stupid can a human be. To cover herself in tattoos, and she is being an original individual. Being non-tattoo is the biggest statement now. I flip more. Yeah, interesting. Being non-tattoo is the bigger statement now. Interesting. I like that quote. Being non-tattoo is the bigger statement now. I flipped now Moonshiner on TV last night, and there was a country white trash woman with her arms covered in tats. She may as well wear neon sign white trash. I turned it off. Do this nigga is hilarious. Her pit bull standing off of white trash and joggers is on a chain in her unfinished yard. That's the thing, these comment sections, they make you giggle. That's the thing about it. These comment sections are like slightly like a comedy show in itself. Cow Diddley, you got her number? You got her number? Now, PC person, I see your problem. You should never have hired someone like that in the first place. The reality is everything Gov is doing needs to be reversed to empower and enrich the common people. Ooh, good quote. I like that quote. .gov is your master, not your friend. Wow, great uncle. I view it as a wealth gap. All the trouble and strife in society as a whole is down to this wealth gap having grown so large, needs to be closed. Of course, it would not be closed by those who can, as they would not make themselves poor. It would fail to be forcibly closed by the ordinary person who has nothing. As the coolest tax of all, inflation. Wow, inflation is a tax. Yep, it is. Slightly a hidden tax. He said, I thought I was reading another Snyder article. I guess might as well get used to it. They would probably all sound like Snyder articles soon. America has gone full Snyder. Snyder Roll is the new reality. It was only a matter of time. Wow. Great uncle. Wow. Ranger Rick. Wow. Not starving is your primary concern. Wow. During the Depression, it was hard to find anything in the woods to eat. The population was around 120 mil, and now it's 350 mil. Your 350 mil did not include 70 mil illegal aliens here. Now, go to the flea market this weekend and walk around. He said walk around. Wow. But what do you know? RTV61, interesting, said the leaders are striving hard to get rid of the middle class on purpose, push everyone into poverty so you worthless eaters consume less and obey. Or wow, that is the way psychopaths think. They revel in the misery they cause. Too old and young, wow. Yeah, that'll backfire on somebody, yeah. Yeah, the YouTube link, wow. Hyperinflation will take off from all the money printing, so it will only be available to favorable ethnic groups. A debt-based economy where the .gov has zero obligation to the cash they create. Interest rates are simply theft. Yeah, I guess some people can have the attitude is like, oh, the government borrows all this money and all this debt. So as an individual, I could borrow all this money and getting all this debt. But if the government could do it like it ain't nothing, people feel like individuals, they can do it as it ain't nothing. Yeah. If I could find a way to print money, whatever. In the Fed, wow. People today are more richer in the things they buy with debt, but they are much poorer in the things they own outright, which is mostly nothing. Yeah, how many people own these vehicles and houses outright? If you do, I mean, yeah, you won the ownership game slightly. When Disney World and Caribbean cruises empty out, I believe you. So we got the fattest, most content, and most leisurely poor people in human history. Enjoy it while it lasts, peeps. Stay on target. The destruction of the middle class is anything but unseen. This is intentional by our unelected Fed. An ignorant, hungry, and desperate population is easier to control. An ignorant, hungry, and desperate population. Easier to control. The gov is a parasite. F you. He said, I believe that that empower from the middle class was always part of the plan. People who struggle to make ends meet are more likely to obey government and the new one world gov. We now see the same reduction in middle class standards across Western countries. Man, don't get me started on school district property taxes. They're 3 times the combined county and township property taxes. The big item last year was more seats for the school football stadium. Wow. No kids, no future. All the fire in the world can't bring me the happiness of one child. Okay, then answer time. Ferris and Doppelinger. First, prices, especially homes, have risen well beyond the capacity of the majority of Americans to ever become homeowners. Home prices. Build more houses. Supply-demand rules the market. For individuals, consider living in a converted tub shed or a tiny home until you can afford to build your own, suited to your needs and tastes. Don't buy a house until or unless you know you are in a permanent or as close to it as possible location for you. Be reasonable with what kind of house you need, unless you are a family person or have immediate plans to be one. 1 or 2 people don't need a 5,000 square foot mansion. But it's not just homes, it's also rent, gas, food, energy, car insurance, childcare. The necessities that cost 15 to 40% more today than it did a few years ago. Rent, get roommates, don't live in the high class and high demand fashionable areas. Gas, buy a more economical car or carpool when possible. Try getting jobs that allow for remote work and constantly push for that work to be 100% remote. Interesting. Food, grow some of your own. Find whatever farmers markets are in the area and shop there for both. He said, don't eat out. Most of it is total poison, trash, and most comes from Cisco, which is tasteless slop. Energy. Don't use more power than you actually need. Listen to the old timers and turn off the lights in rooms you aren't actually in. Dry your clothing on a drying line, not the dryer. Don't crank the heat AC to absurd levels. Car insurance. Drive like an old timer and avoid tickets. Avoid areas with red light cameras. Make a yearly habit of looking for cheaper rates from other companies. If you let them, they will continually screw you by inching up rates, even though you did nothing wrong. Man. Childcare. First off, try not having kids while unmarried. If you have a lifetime partner, have flexibility, which is a requirement for remaining married partner. You can work things out so you don't need two incomes. Is it sexy? No, but it works and has worked for literally thousands of years. 5 kids on a minimum wage paycheck are human garbage. Get a skill set that is in demand and difficult to find in the workforce. Trades are roaring right now because the current generations can't stand the idea of getting their hands dirty. Truck drivers who can haul hazmat loads are paid very well. Hazmat, huh? Get your hands dirty type work, hazmat type work, and average an electrician type work these days is in the upper 5-figure territory. Why can't they be in the 6-figure territory? Yeah, upper 5 figures. I can see people saying that's still not enough. They need 6 figures. Computer programmers are in demand too, and I'm not talking game designers. Try database admin. Boring as hell, but that's one reason it pays well. Anything women generally hate. Dirty, dangerous, difficult, boring, or outdoors is a great bet. DDDBO. So dirty, dangerous, difficult, boring, or outdoors. If you do the same jobs as everyone else, you are paid like everyone else. Interesting. If you do the same jobs as everyone else, you are paid like everyone else. Interesting. And before anyone bitches that any of the above are too hard, I did these myself and still do to the current day because they work. Business premium. Destroying the family destroys society, which destroys the economy. Interesting. Destroying the family destroys society, which destroys the economy. Business premium. Wise underscore out. They destroy the value of the dollar, causing a result, one of which is destruction of the family unit. It was a two-pronged attack. Wow. U.S. immigrant premium. Interesting. If your job is online, have no kids at home, you owe it to yourself and spouse to seriously look at reducing your cost of living by 40%. Hungary or Romania? We pick Romania for the language and its business migration. In the States, we'd barely be middle class. Here, we're solid and living within our means. He said if your job is online, he said if you... And so everybody talking about getting a job online. Language difficult to read, much less speak. Cold winters, personally don't like the food. Live in trailer homes built in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. The professional class live in cookie-cutter suburbia by means of unsustainable levels of debt. Both are middle class. Their lifestyle differ, but their levels of real ownership in society are comparable. 0 or near to it. Wow, he said their levels of real ownership in society are comparable. 0 or near to it. Wow. A poor person who owns a trailer and the land it sits on and a paid off car too probably has a higher net worth than many middle class people whose debts exceed their assets. Interesting. Yo, maybe we could do a part 3 on this. All right, we're gonna start right here at part 2, the middle class game, middle class economy. But that's what it is. Let's go back to the declining, the middle class decline.